Good morning, guys. That's the number to call if you want some gold and silver. Especially if you want to roll over your Roth IRA or your 401k without a penny out of your pocket. We can show you how to do it. Call that number. All right. So there's going to be a blackout in our lifetime, in the future. We don't know when. It could be tomorrow. It could be a year. It could be 10 years. Does it matter? No, because we need to be prepared for it. We need to be early, okay? Because being late is not an option. I'm going to go over what I'm doing to get ready and just what happened the last time this was tried. Well, the most obvious one. There's several times that they've tried to take us down. But the last time was kind of eye-opening for me and several other people. I'm going to touch on that, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Let's go. Woo! All right, in 2016, a gunman went to the Metcalf substation, okay? He planned this out. He slipped in there, planted rocks, got it all ready, and then one night he came in there and shot 90 times at transformers and hit 17 of 21. He hit them in the fins. They have fins on these big transformers at these substations, and if you don't know what the substations are, I'll cover that in just a second. But when you shoot the fins on a transformer, it leaks out the fluid that's in them, and they get burnt. They burn up. They get too hot and they burn up. All right, so what happens after that? The second thing, the FERC shows up. And they show up and say, what the FERC is going on? That's the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. And they come in and investigate, and that's what they found. Now, a substation is where the big power comes to get small and go everywhere into neighborhoods, and that's where they regulate it and disperse it like a spider web. It's really incredible. There's like 3,000 of them in the U.S. I'm going off memory, could be wrong. And it turns out, and I thought this was incredible, it turns out it used to be 20. If you took down 20 of these substations at one time, it would shut the whole grid down. But it's a little bit worse than that. It's more like 9. If they were to take down 9 of these substations, we would be in some real trouble. Now, we could talk about cyber attacks. That's also extremely likely, maybe more likely than a physical attack. The cyber attacks, the last one they pulled off, it took 1,000 people to do. That's what they estimated it took to put it together. I mean, these are a big deal, and they're super hard. Ransomware is really, they pay them. If you hadn't noticed that, they're paying these ransoms. So, that tells you right there that there's nothing else they could do. So, and on top of that, my bank reached out to me and said, hey, cyber attacks are getting worse. Take these certain steps. And that was kind of eye-opening. I know how to take a warning. So I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. Now, there's a lot of videos on how to make a blackout bag and tell you to get flashlights and batteries. I am going to talk about some flashlights because that is usually the first thing I look for when the lights go out. There's one you're going to take to the sink, take to the generator, take wherever. And it will double as a regular flashlight. All right, that's great. You need one of those, something like that. It's a radiant light that shines real low. Now, this is the one I keep by my bed. All right, it is super bright. I don't know how many lumens it is, but if it's not 800 or 1,000, I'd be surprised. And this is the other thing that I keep near my bed. Really quick, boom, boom, fast. You need protection and you need good light to see what you're shooting at. Everybody. The only thing that stops a bad man with a gun is a good man with a gun. All right, in the last one, I'm a nut about lights, guys. I wear this one every day, right next to the razor sharp blade I keep in my pocket. That's why I wear carpenter pants. I got a flashlight right here, and I've got a knife right here. Super quick, super fast, and super sharp. It's just the way I roll. Prepared. It's just nice having things you need. I used to carry a Leatherman all the time. Had a lot of tools in it and pliers, and it just got heavy, and I broke it, I think. But I enjoy having what I need all the time. Now, aside from lights and batteries and candles, you're going to need, we're talking about a sure enough blackout. Not the lights go off for a few hours or even 2 or 3 days. And keep in mind, Texas just had a debacle. I mean, they had a big one. It killed several hundred people. I mean, I don't know, several. It's hundreds. It killed hundreds of people. Carbon monoxide poisoning because people cranked their cars in their garage and did weird stuff like that. And they got to have hypothermia. They came down with hypothermia. And this happened not too long ago. So we're there. You need to be ready. Now, here's what I'm doing to be prepared other than flashlights, guns, and the normal stuff. I'm going to take you over to my breaker box and show you what's going on. So this is the breaker panel. All my breakers in it, whatever I need, all the electrical stuff. Now what happens is a lot of people try to backfeed, and you have the chance of shocking somebody that's working on the lines, and you don't know what you're turning on and what you're not, and it's hard to do that. I've tried, and it's just easier to get a throwout box. This box has lights, water well, water heater, everything we need to run our refrigerators, freezers, the bare necessities. This box runs, and my little generator will push what's on this panel. And it's got some lights here to tell you how far you are to the generator's capacity. That way you kind of know. And all you have to do when the lights go out is plug your generator up to a box that's right behind this wall outside and flip this switch over. It's that simple. Plug it up, flip it over, and you're good to go. Lights are back on and everything's going. So this is, go back to the anvil and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. All right, so you got your generator going and your lights are on, and everybody else's probably isn't, and we don't know for how long. That's why you have your Bofang radio. Okay, you can make communication with this, figure it out. I'm not the authority on this at all, but I have it and I'll figure it out in a pinch. Okay, your next thing, you're going to get hungry pretty quick. So you're going to go over to your pantry that you have been storing food in, getting ready for this. It could be a nothing burger, but you might have to make it a few days without it. And I get hungry in about 3 hours. I eat every 3 hours. That's how I stay in shape. That's just the way I've set my body up, and that's the way I roll. And I have food in here with a label on it, ready to go. Oatmeal and rice. You can go a long time on these 2 bags. I've got chickens outside crapping out omelets. And I will soon have fish for a secondary protein plan B in my pond. And don't forget silver. In a grid down situation, your digital tokens aren't going to do very good in that situation. And they're taking us off cash as fast as they can. They're meeting in Davos about it right now. The WEF is pushing for a global digital dollar. And the cyber attack might be part of it. We don't know. I'm speculating a lot, actually. I don't know, but I would not think anything different, really. What else are they doing? They're not looking out for our well-being, I can promise you that. So, and the very last thing, you got your generator, you got to fuel it. So you need fuel, whatever it takes. I've got 2. I've got a gas generator and a diesel generator. I got 2 diesel generators in the form of a welding machine. So you got those 2 kinds of fuel. And you need if you have electricity, get you some propane. You need something to cook on. It'd be really handy. It's really hard to generate enough electricity off a generator to run a stove or something like that because they take so much. So a propane cook stove of some type would be really nice. And if you're planning on heating your home, wood is a wonderful thing. That wood, most places have it, and a wood-burning stove, you can pipe that dude out the window, whatever you got to do, because in Texas, when the grid went down, there's people that froze to death. They had hypothermia. Hundreds of people died. So have a way to heat yourself. Well, right now, it's not a big deal. It's going to be having a way to cool yourself in Louisiana, for sure. But anyway, guys, that's it. That's the steps I'm taking, and right now, right this second, I want you to have an awesome, awesome day. I'll see you in the next one. I'll be in San Antonio then later.